dad and his brothers had a band, and they would rehearse in the basement of where I lived when I was growing up as a kid, and they wrote their own songs, and I remember just thinking how cool that was, that these guys are sort of writing their own stuff and then performing them, even though they only performed them down in the basement to each other. It just seemed like they had such a good time, and I just wanted to be part of that, And then once I had a couple of chords that I could hop from, fairly quickly, I started writing songs, and like one of the first songs that I wrote after I had that sort of basic 3-chord thing going was like Whiskey Town. And that was a really huge song because it got featured in the movie Crashed. It won the Oscar for Best Picture. Lord, I'm down, 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 down Whiskey Town. Down Whiskey Town. For me, it was the first time that I had written something and knew that it was bigger than the other things I'd done before, so. The album features not only Kenny Vaughan producing, but he plays guitar on it, and the rest of the fabulous Superlatives, Marty Stewart's, backing band. They're ridiculously good players. It also features Chris Scruggs playing guitar and steel guitar and stuff like that, and a guy named Hank Singer played the fiddle, and the guy named George Bradfute, who actually runs the studio where we recorded it, he plays a little slide guitar, and then Elizabeth Cook was able to sing a duet on the album with me, and that was really cool because that was my first sort of duet ever, and the first one I've ever written. So it was a great first duet experience. Baby, baby, oh baby, do you know who I am? Maybe, maybe, oh maybe, you're one of those kind of men. Like Fade to Gold, it's just about that relationship that you can't be saved from. Floating in our fade, fade to gold. Queensberry rules is they're the old British boxing rules that basically say don't kick your opponent when they're down and that sort of thing. And I thought it would make a cool kind of love song, but in a kind of rock and country format. Another town, but I always find my way back home when I'm tired of being alone. But just heart played by the Queensberry rules, and you good at very fools who wind up falling in love again. One of the things that are different this time around as opposed to being on somebody else's label, we've sort of started our own label, and it's called Highway Kind Records. Every success that we have, no matter how small, is a great win overall for us. Just because we're trying to do what we can and make the most of this. And I honestly think we have a really outstanding album. Now the fun part, begins, which is, the touring aspect, and we're doing some solo acoustic tours, and we're doing some full band tours, and we'll be going over to Europe, and it looks like we're headed to Canada. It's a pretty damn good place to be for right now, so yeah, we're pretty excited. Walking alone in the rain, from rags to rhinestones, a shooting star out of the great unknown. Well, you should have seen me then. From rags to rhinestones, back again.